Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been forever, and I have the craziest update for you. And then I also need to announce a change in my YouTube channel. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Ashley, and you're watching Your Canadian Blind Girl. In order to understand what has happened to me, because honestly, to me, it sounds like something out of a science fiction novel. But you have to understand that the blindness that I had is from where the brain connects to the bilateral optic nerve. Okay, so that part of the brain stopped working. And by the time we found out, I was told there's nothing that modern science or modern medicine can do for my blindness. So I was very discouraged with that, and that was a huge part of my life, going blind, living as a blind person. Here is the unbelievable update. So I don't know a lot about stem cells. That's not really something that is studied like in schools and stuff here. But, and I do think that's actually changing. But when you're pregnant, your body makes a whole bunch of stem cells. And then if you have pregnancies very close together, your body makes even more stem cells. So I think the last update you guys had from my YouTube channel was when my son Rainbow was born. He's a year and a half now. It's been that long since I've updated my YouTube channel. 6 months after Rainbow was born, I got pregnant again with our second son, Galaxy. While I was pregnant with Galaxy, now keep in mind I had two pregnancies very close together, I had fallen and hit my head, which caused inflammation in the brain. So for about the next 24 hours, I had issues with seizures. And I have a history of epilepsy, so it wasn't really a scare for us. The only time you need to call 911 or go into the ER for me, not for you, for me, is if you have a seizure longer than 2 minutes, or there's any complications that start to happen. So, like issues breathing, becoming non responsive after the seizure, like things like that. So, I had that happen. However, throughout that 24 hours, I started to get my sight back. I'm not even kidding you. Like, it was the most bizarre thing. And when I had my vision back, I actually thought I was having some kind of a midlife crisis. Like, it just was like, what's going on? So, the only doctor that would talk to me, and he said it's off record because he said, you're not going to have a doctor admit this. He was a neuro ophthalmologist, so he's one of the top doctors for eye brain issues. And he said that what he thinks happened is when I fell, it caused inflammation, which triggered my body to send all the stem cells to the brain, which then started to heal up the part of my brain that had stopped responding to the bilateral optic nerve. So here I am. Now, one of the things I still struggle with today, so I have my sight back. I've had my sight back since late fall of 2025. But one of the biggest things I have struggled with was, what was the point? It was over 10 years that I spent as a person with vision loss. What was the point of all of that? I kind of struggle with that because my journey was not an easy one. It was not a good one. And in fact, that's why I started my YouTube channel, because other people who had platforms were acting like it was rainbows and unicorns, and if they had an option to get their sight back, they wouldn't. And for me, my experience was not the same. My experience was dehumanizing. I went from anywhere I went, I knew people had friends and I would have conversations with friends, to becoming invisible. No one would talk to me. It was all very traumatic. It was all very hard. I cannot stress how big of a change those 10 years made in my life. And I struggle with what was the point of that? So that kind of leads me to the next part of this video. Obviously, if I'm not blind anymore, I'm not going to be creating content from the perspective of a person with vision loss. So I'm going to change the name of the channel. Now I'm going to keep my old videos up because it was a very hard journey for me, and there are people who still watch those videos, and I do believe there are some people who do benefit from some of the topics I discussed, but I am going to be changing the YouTube channel, but I don't know, like, what do I do with it now? You know what I mean? I thought about changing it to discuss kind of like my life living with health issues, and I have other disabilities, um, mainly because of health issues. I've thought about, talking about that. I don't know. I'm not rich enough to do product reviews and things like that, so I don't know if I will ever do something like that. But I would love to hear from you guys in the comments what you think I should do now, because again, I don't want to delete my channel because that was a very crucial time of my life. And when I started focusing on sharing with other people, it helped me not to focus so much on what I could and could not do. And it helped me not to focus on my problems, but rather, okay, how am I going to get through this problem, and how am I going to share that with people? And it was very healthy for me to have the YouTube channel. I just don't know what to do with it now. So I would love your feedback in the comments and let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.